Welcome. I am WriterMaven. I am a wrestling commenter who is the host of the Wrestling Receipts podcast. I discuss all things Judgment Day, which is Dom, Liv, Raquel, Carlito, Finn, and JD, and we'll talk about Damien and Rhea too. This Monday Night Raw had some advancement, but I will say that I am extremely annoyed with how um, Rhea was character was inserted into this Io and Bianca thing, because what the fuck was the point of last week's promo where she was blaming herself only for her to come out this week and blame Bianca? That just rendered a whole promo null and void, and I am glad I did not do my breakdown of that promo because there's no point in breaking down that promo. She just rendered it mute just by blaming Bianca. Like 97 said, I wasn't a fan of that promo. People were liking it, and that's gonna be like when people are like, "Oh, a triple threat is gonna slap and all that," and I'm like, but Liv did not get her rematch. So how is it that Rhea, if she's inserted, they haven't announced anything just yet. So that's why I'm not crashing out. They have not inserted Rhea into this yet. If Rhea gets inserted, then Liv needs to get inserted because she never had her rematch. How can you sit there and make it where Rhea can get into this match to make it a triple threat match, only for Liv to be sitting on the outside twiddling her thumbs? It's unfair because Liv established all the storylines going into this match. She set up the whole Bianca, Jade, and Naomi thing. She set up the whole Io and Rhea thing. So she sets up all this just like she did last year and the year before that, and now she has nothing to show for it. Nothing. We have no clear paths for Liv or even Raquel at this matter into WrestleMania. And I'm focusing more on Liv here. She has no clear paths. They did not set up any kind of tag team matches this Raw. They didn't set up any kind of tag team match on SmackDown. There is nothing for Liv at this particular moment going into WrestleMania. You would have thought last week they would have been setting up, if they wanted to do Alexa and Nikki, they would have been setting that up for last SmackDown, but they didn't do that. They were off. There was no Wyatt Six mention. Their post got deleted, and you didn't see any kind of interactions between Alexa and Nikki. And if you wanted to get that spun up so you could have a tag match at WrestleMania, that needed to get started like yesterday. They haven't done that. This Raw, no tag team matches mentioned. You don't see nothing like brewing with Bianca and not Bianca. You don't see anything brewing with Shayna and Zoe. You keep seeing Maxine talking to Natty in the background, but that's not really a tag team. And I've seen people talk about, well, Becky can come back to help Lyra. Well, I don't even think Becky's going to be showing up until after WrestleMania, especially with what she did with that post she did about Roxanne this past week. I'm not even sure she's going to be showing up anytime soon. So Liv right there is stuck without nothing to do for WrestleMania. And that is extremely fucked up. I don't care. But yeah, it's just going to be extremely fucked up if nothing gets solidified pretty soon. And that's my rant for today. I don't really want to touch on that whole promo. It's just like Io. And see, the whole thing is going to be boring anyway. People were saying, well, Io was all fire. She was all slapping Rhea and Bianca. It's like, okay, and that's all she can do. She has limited English skills. You saw how fast they had to bring out Bianca to add to the promo. And then Rhea's a terrible promo either, too. So I mean, there's just null and void. If it's just Rhea, Io, and Bianca, that whole thing is going to be boring leading into WrestleMania. The match might slap, but the match buildup will be boring because they're all faces. You need a heel, a bona fide heel in that match, and the only one that can be a heel in there is Liv. I'll come back around to Liv later, because I want to discuss her, but right now that's just my rant on the whole thing. I mean, I do not need to see Rhea be reinserted into this match. If Rhea's gonna be reinserted into that match, then Liv needs to get inserted into that match because she never got her rematch. Nia did at least get her rematch. eventually, even though she had a detour to Rhea. But she eventually got her rematch. Liv never did. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm not going to tell y'all to trust the process. I'm not going to tell y'all to wait to be patient either. You know, y'all know me. This is an observation period. We have to wait and see, and it sucks until probably this coming up Friday and this coming up Monday to see what path Liv can take. Okay, so anywho, let's get into the rest of Monday Night Raw, shall we? Like I said, I'm gonna come circle back around to Liv, but yeah. So Monday Night Raw, pre-Raw, we find out that Liv and Dom are gonna be on Hot Ones, which is really, really cool. I know Liv has been campaigning to get on there, so to see Liv and Dom on Hot Ones is really cool. And then we got the nice bonus of Dom getting Liv a Rolex. I'm sure y'all can see the videos on the X and on Instagram, and it was really cool. Liv was showing off her Rolex to Cole during Raquel's match, Dom too, and they were trying to say it's fake. And can I just say that we really need another heel commentator, because I am really tired of I'm really tired of Cole and Pat McAfee all shitting on Liv and Dom while they don't give nearly as much crap to Logan Paul or the New Day. I'm tired of it. They need a heel commentator. It's like every time Dom comes out, it's just trashing, heaping crap on him all the time. You can't even enjoy the match without them being just assholes to Dom. So that's my segue into that. But Liv got her a nice Rolex. We got to see it in the clubhouse. She was wearing it, and then we saw it during the that excuse me. We did see it during the match with Raquel. Now, so now we get into Raw. We are in the Judgment Day clubhouse. If we notice that the gun belts, Dom's gun belts, are crossed again. I don't know if that's anything significant or not, but we always pay attention to stuff. But it's crossed, and we have the nice LED light on the skeleton. Finn is his demented self grumbling about Braun, and with that, notice that Carlito was paying Finn no mind. Like, Finn was all like, he attacked me, he suplexed Dom, he speared you, and Finn is like, are you paying attention? And Carlito is just like focusing on his apple, and he's like, huh? So, but notice cool Uncle Carlito, because he wasn't paying Finn any mind during that rant. However, notice how he started paying attention to Dom, Liv, and Raquel when they walked in. So again, there's that leadership thing again. You're gonna pay attention to the leader. Finn's not getting paid attention to. Dom is. Let's see. So, and then since La Familia comes in, Liz says that they've been setting some things up. She says that Raquel has a match against Bayley for the number one contendership to the IC title. And then they said that they have news for Finn. And then Finn is his usual grouchy self saying, oh, I bet you set up a IC title match for yourself. And then Dom was like, no, I set it up for you. And then Finn looks all shocked and gives Dom this heartfelt hug. But man, if looks could kill, did y'all notice Dom's eyes when Finn was hugging him? Those eyes don't lie. Those are betrayal eyes. I'm calling those betrayal eyes because Dom had those eyes, John Cena had those eyes, and Dom is a master with facial expressions. He doesn't do anything without any kind of meaning to it. So those eyes, those betrayal eyes, Finn is not long for this world. And it was just amazing because it kind of confirmed my thoughts of last week, where I think Dom was kind of luring Finn into a false sense of security. You remember how Dom did Rhea, where he was trying to get back on her good side so he could ultimately betray her at SummerSlam? I'm thinking this is what's going to happen here. it's getting on Finn's good side, and now he's kind of back in Finn's good side because he got to him that title match. So he's setting this up, always to stab him in the back. When Finn leaves because he has to sign off on the match with Scrap Daddy Adam Pearce, Liv says to Dom that Dom should be going for IC, which is again Liv supporting her man, but allowing him to do what he thinks he needs to do. So Liv is allowing Dom to do what he needs to do. She's not trying to order him. She's not trying to boss him around. Not like anything like Rhea. So, but Liv is just being supportive of Dom, and then she's like, that Dom should be going for IC. But Dom says he believes in Finn. That man is plotting something, and as we see later on in the night, that we can kind of get a guess of what Dom's planning. So, we're going to, so with this IC title, now there's a couple of things that can go on here. Some people were saying that maybe Dom helps Finn to win the title because they're over there in Europe right now, and then Dom wins it off of Finn, and I really don't see that right just yet. I mean, I don't see why he would just get Finn to get it and then he can beat it off Finn. I mean, that just seems like unnecessary steps. I would just set it up in such a way where Dom could get himself inserted into the match and then take advantage of Finn's good nature, and then that's how he gets the title. Having Finn just win it doesn't make sense right now, and I don't think they want to do that title change so close to WrestleMania. Now the women's thing is kind of different because at least they have some kind of plot line going on here, and they didn't do that like super last minute. This with Finn, I don't think they want to do a title change just yet, especially since you could just wait until WrestleMania to do anything. So that's just my point on that. So then we had Raquel versus Bayley. We had the La Familia walkout, which was nice. We hadn't had that in a while. Of Liv, Dom, and Raquel. Raquel's theme song slaps. I'm sorry, it's nice. I like that theme song for Raquel, and I like that we were able to get Liv, Dom, and Raquel to walk out for the match. And then she was going up against Bayley. I love you, Bayley, but she had to take that loss. I love that Raquel is looking better in the ring. She was doing her power moves. She was throwing Bayley around. And Raquel wins with a Tejana bomb after a distraction by Dom and Liv. And like I said, during this match, we really need a heel commentator because I'm tired of Cole and McAfee just shitting on Dom and Liv. And it just makes the match hard to watch when they're just shitting on them constantly. But we did get Raquel to win, and so she is now number one contender. Now, to bring this back around to Liv, this is what I mean with the paths to WrestleMania are muddled, because if Raquel is going for IC, and there's no problem with this, by the way. I don't have no problem with Raquel going for IC. I think Raquel deserves it, and she needs to be built up, especially after dealing with Rhea's ass last year. If Raquel's going for IC, what is Liv doing? Like, this would have been the moment to insert herself into that match if they were going to do it. I'm going to give it another week. I'm going to give it another week, but and that things could change. I mean, Rhea hasn't been inserted into that match, so I can't specifically crash out about it just yet. I could just complain that she just made the promos she did last week rendered moot because it made no sense for her to do that what she did this week. But if Raquel is going for IC, then okay, what are we doing with the tag? What is Liv going to do? Is she going to get a singles match here? Is she going to be inserted into the title match? They're going to do tag? What are they going to do? And then they haven't even announced where the Lyra and Raquel match is going to be. So We have like 5 more Mondays until WrestleMania. So it's gotta be either probably the week after next, maybe. But still, you're cutting down your time to set up any kind of other feuds for like a tag or something like that. There's nothing built up. This would have been the week if they're going to do a tag match. This should have been the week tag or something like that. There's nothing built up. This would have been the week if they're going to do a tag match. This should have been the week for them to. And I'm really annoyed with that because you know if you're tag team and you're gonna get her on a card, then I don't know what Triple H is doing. I really don't. But Raquel got the match. I'm really hoping she has a good showing against Lyra. I'm not sure if Lyra's gonna win, and like I said, I really don't think Becky is going to show up for Lyra. It would make Lyra is her pupil, but it doesn't make sense in the grand scheme of things. That's like Becky should be coming for Liv and probably Liv only and Dom, and it seems like Liv would need a title belt, a singular belt, for Becky to be going after at this particular moment. And like I said, I would save Becky's return until after WrestleMania, not now. It doesn't make sense for her to return right now. If Becky was going to return, she should have been returning at Elimination Chamber, like Randy Orton. Like we only got the Roman Reigns return just because of everything, how everything was set up. And Roman's been out for a little bit, and we know that he was going to insert himself into this Seth or CM Punk match anyway, so that's not a surprise. But Roman's so during the continuing on with Raw, during the walkout, Io's walkout, we see that Dom is talking with Ludwig in the background. Now, people have come across a couple of different theories on what Dom is doing. Either Dom is setting up the multi-man match for WrestleMania IC, but that would make sense because Karrion Kross would be in that, and Dom was talking to Karrion last week, and I don't see how that Karrion gets into the IC just. And then we have the other theory that Dom is just excuse me, Dom is just going on a recruitment drive for new members of Judgment Day. And I can actually kind of see that. I wouldn't say that he's really trying to recruit Ludwig or Karrion Kross either, but maybe he's just trying to secure his alliances. I mean, if I had to have a guess, I think Dom is solidifying his alliances because earlier in the night we saw Chad Gable, or at least somebody that looks like Chad Gable, in the like American-made mask. I was hoping they were going to do Mr. America, but they did the American-made mask, and he took out Rey Mysterio. And then they had the bit later where Kathy Kelly, I can't stand Kathy Kelly. Kathy Kelly was interviewing Chad and accusing him of being the guy, and then we see the guy getting escorted out in the back, so we don't know who that guy is. So it could be Chad, or it could be somebody else. But we see Dom talking to all these people. So again, he's doing something. It either has to do with the IC, it either has to do with some recruitment to Judgment Day, or maybe he's just solidifying his alliance to the faction of Judgment. It'll be interesting. Like we see the gears moving. They're moving really slow. Like I said, we don't need the breadcrumbs anymore. We need the plot advancement. And I'm hoping next week we get major plot advancement. So either Finn is gonna win that thing, or Finn is gonna get kicked out on his ass. Something's gonna happen. But like I said, to come back to Liv, like I said, it's gonna be extremely shitty if they do Rhea in the triple threat and then keep Liv out of it because she hasn't had her rematch. I do have a theory that maybe Liv sneaks in there. Maybe because Bianca feels guilty of accusing her. Because that would be a face thing to do. You know, Liv was falsely accused of attacking Jade, and it turned out to be Naomi. So, where's that apology? Maybe she could get in with an apology from Bianca. to insert her into the match because she was falsely accused and she was beaten and attacked multiple times on the word of Naomi. So they can do something like that. They can also do the route of like Liv saying, "I beat everybody," EO, Liv and Bianca, and maybe they do something like that too. But hopefully we get a clear indication of what Liv is gonna do next week. We might have to look for this Saturday. Not Saturday, this Friday. I know they're going on the European tour. We might get something then. I have to I have to check the spoilers and on because that's gonna be broadcast during the day live if you have the Netflix International. So I might be able to get on there and just see what's going on live and see if Liv is on there. Because if she's not doing, if they don't do any kind of tag team or anything like that on SmackDown, then I'm just gonna assume that they're not gonna do any kind of tag team match at WrestleMania because the time is, like I said, the time is ticking down. This needs to start getting set up, and it hasn't. Pretty much everything else has been set up except for like guys tag. Like at least Raw tags from this one hasn't been set up, but they're kind of in the mud anyway. But anywho, tag like at least Raw tags from this one hasn't been set up, but they're. Thanks for tuning in to the Wrestling Receipts podcast. Remember to follow me on the X at WMaven WWE and on TikTok at WriterMaven for more wrestling insights and live reactions every Monday night after Raw. Until next time, I'm just saying.